Hello everybody and welcome back to the second episode of EVtheWorld. I am Joel Knott and I'd sincerely like to thank you for coming back. Today I just wanted to take a short amount of time just to introduce myself and to talk about the direction of EVtheWorld. To begin, me. I'm Joel Knott, and as you may be able to hear from my accent, I was born in Australia, Sydney in fact. I still live part of the year in Australia, other part of the year in America and Germany. I do this because of my work. I work in the automotive industry and I have specific periods of the time of the year where I live in those countries. I am a car guy. I love cars. I love them. I was brought up with them from a tiny little kid. Still not exactly the biggest of adults, but I do love them. That is kind of my dad's fault because he is a car guy. And, well, Mum was a bit of a sort of a rev head back in her day as well. So I guess it was probably both of them now that I think about it. I am an automotive engineer and I have worked with some of the biggest manufacturers in the world, automotive manufacturers, of course. I enjoy niche parts of the automotive industry. I have, from a mechanical sense, I have done steering swaps on cars at one point in time. I have done multiple engine conversions between rotaries, four cylinders, LS motors, etc. along the way. And I've even owned a Land Rover, and if a Land Rover doesn't make you a top-notch mechanic, I don't know what would. So, what does any of this have to do with the EV industry, I hear you asking yourself? And that is a great question. In my opinion, the EV industry is still quite a niche space. It's a small space. And it's got some momentum behind it, yes. Will the industry, the EV industry, become more mainstream? Well, in my opinion, that's a yes. But currently I see two problems with the EV space, and they really are that for a consumer, there's so much mystery surrounding the electric vehicle space that it makes it hard to understand what's what, and you almost get to the point where you're too afraid to ask the question because you feel like everybody else knows, but you're the only one that doesn't. And the second one really is this polarizing nature of the EV space, and that is that you're either pro-EV or against EV. You're either a lover or a hater, and we know the haters love to hate. The haters are going to tell you that your electric vehicle battery is just moments away from exploding into a ball of flames, or that one day you will have to replace that battery pack and it's going to cost you more than the value of the car. And although there is some truth to some of that, the reality is, well, it's quite different. And of course, as we know with any emerging technology, it's only going to get better and better. But the one thing I always wonder is, these EV haters, have they ever really even driven an EV? Have they ever owned an EV? My thought is they probably haven't. And then there's me. I think I fall somewhere in the middle of the evangelist and the hater. There are parts of the EV space that I'm somewhat evangelical on, and then there are other parts that I just hate. Hate's a very strong word, I know, but anyway, for the sake of today's discussion, we'll just say hate. But the truth is, I want to learn more about the EV industry. I'm interested because I'm not an expert in the EV field, but I want to be, and I want you to be as well. And I'd like you to come on a journey with me. The greenie in me loves the no exhaust pollutants. And when I say exhaust pollutants, let me give you a little tiny story. I love to run. Am I a runner? I don't know, but I love to run nonetheless. I like to run at least 3 times a week and to a maximum of 5 times a week. But to the point of that is that when I'm running, I notice such a big difference between a road that I'm running along on, say, a weekday where it's busy, everyone's going to work because I run in the mornings, or that same road on a Saturday morning where there's not so many cars on the road. Those ground level emissions are so much different. And I just think that if you could have the majority of cars EVs, it's got to be better for our health, doesn't it? I mean, I know there's still pollutants up top, and I know it's still not perfect the way they're producing electricity, but breathing the exhaust fumes from cars has to be bad for us. I mean, it's proven. So if you can keep a lot of those pollutants up a bit higher, look, I'm no scientist, but I just know from my running, it feels a lot better. But then, of course, there's the rev head side of me. The rev head side of me that loves the instant torque of an electric vehicle. The acceleration, okay, this is maybe contrary to the rev head side, but the quiet way in which it produces all of this power. These cars truly are amazing in that sense. Even lower spec electric vehicles still produce so much torque that they're just simply fun to drive. I want to take you to all corners of the globe. I want to show you the positives, the negatives of the EV industry, because like any industry, there are pros and cons to everything. I want to understand what other content creators aren't giving you and try and find this information for you, because I'm like a sponge for this industry, and again, obviously you are, because you're watching this video. So tell me, please comment. Tell me what you want to know. What are other people not telling you in this space? Because I want to do this collaboratively, not unilaterally. So in summary, I just want to learn all about the EV space, and I want to learn it with you. I want you to, if you see me at a show, come up and talk to me. Come up and tell me what you want. Like I said earlier, comment. I find it interesting because I think you'll think of things that I haven't even thought of in this space. I'm not the all-seeing, all-doing. As I said, I'm not an expert in the EV space. I love it. I understand quite a bit about it already, but there's so much more to learn. I think, well, when it comes to the EV space, I don't know if this is a revolution or an evolution. At this point, I feel it's an evolution, but maybe, just maybe, it is a revolution. Let's find out together.